Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, use other people's emotes, or be a lurker. It's okay to lurk if that's your vibe. Lashberg is here. Hello, Lashberg. Ghost Valve is here. Hello, Ghost Valve. Welcome, welcome. This is the intro portion of the stream where I chat with you, see who's here, say hi, and then we get into shenanigans as usual. It's a Monday. I'm back here in the bedroom. I moved it back in here for Saturday stream. Harold's here. Hello, Harold. Happy to have you here. So I came in on Saturday into this space again. I will be here now. Harold wants me to hit the dance button, and I will. Well, we'll start off the stream with a little dance button. Lord Crashens is here. Hey, Lord Crashens, saying it's definitely a Monday, and it is. As we do this clearly music that you've probably heard underneath a YouTube tutorial video during a montage. I don't know, cleaning some electronic parts. And then Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button, so I'll hit the dance button again. But yeah, right now I'm soldering some stuff, but you've already seen me do the soldering, so I had to do it again. Or, as Lord Crashington points out, we're loading into the next level of Persona, and then it'll fade out into battle music because we're in a Persona game. But yeah, that's a fun one. I don't know. I found some kind of dancey stuff, or the dancey that like background music, instrumentals made by people who think they know what hip hop is, but they don't. That's what I'm going for. Anyway. Tonight's agenda. It's Monday. We're going to talk about some manga in the second hour and some anime. They play this at the best clubs. Yes. We're going to keep working on the Hy-Gogg. Hy-Gogg. I'm Pat. There's the Hy-Gogg with its weird arms that want to pop out, even though I did add blue tack to it to hopefully keep them from flopping around too much, but the actual hands are weird. But, you know, we got that going for us. Working on that. This light is peeking on the side too much, so I'm going to move that. I got my model kits back here. I am retiring Grogu because that Lego set is too heavy and was starting to cause my my set to fall over. So the child gets. Oh no, wait, that wasn't child. That was Yoda. That was the big Yoda. That was the big Yoda. We had Grogu before, but that was the big Yoda. Big Yoda's got to retire. We're retiring Big Yoda because it was too heavy a Lego set. So yeah. Instead, I've got my Witcher Mercury kits and my God Gundam on a horse and the heavy arms with the extra arms. Big Yoda's last album was whack. Look, Big Yoda produces some great stuff for other people, but just hasn't really felt it. You know, we get that. We understand. All respect out there to Big Yoda, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe just guest on some stuff. Guest spots are fire, but you know, not what we're looking for out there. All right, we are looking for model kit building. That's what we're looking to do here. We're going to keep working on this weird kit that's 20 fucking years old. This kit is 20 years old, and that is wild to me. Building a model kit from the year 2003 is great and fun. Also, we have to thank Dirty. Dirty just subscribed to Tier 1 for 42 months. Thank you so much, Dirty. Listen to the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat. Thank you, Dirty, for that. And Dirty wants to hear the dance music. We'll do the dance music again right now. And that dance music, people have been hitting the dance button a lot tonight, and that's fine by me, your friend Pat. Would be nice to be 20 years old. Yeah, I mean, look, if I was a 20-year-old model kit, that would be fine. But I'm not. I'm almost 43. I'm a couple months away from being 43. It's fine. I'm not at all freaked out about that. Today I learned I'm almost exactly 1 year older than Chris Hero, Cassius Ono, an independent wrestler who I thought was an old man, but isn't. I thought he was much older. I did not realize that when I saw Chris Hero 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, that I was older than him. Sometimes I don't feel like an adult. All right, retweeting my tweet, and then we're getting in there. But yeah, finding out you're slightly older than professional wrestlers you have watched wrestle for many, many years is weird. It's one thing to be like, who's this hot new wrestler? Oh, they're 21? Sure. Fine. Whatever. Oh, one of my favorite wrestlers in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling is 27. Fine. That's okay. But when someone's like, I've been watching that person wrestle for a very long time, and they're my age. Adult is a dumb concept anyway. Well, yes, I mean, true. That's true. That's true and fair, but it's still odd. It's still odd to be like, oh, I am older than that person that felt like a grown up to me. Anyway, hey, we got to build a leg. We got to build two legs. We'll start with one. Just look at the Rugrats episode where they imagine what being an adult is like. You know, it's all nonsense. It's fine. It is fine. It's all nonsense, but it is all nonsense. Anyway, let's build some legs for this weird model kit. My snippers that I bought pretty recently, I'm holding up great, or I got pretty recently, I should say, have been holding up just fine. Been happy to make use of these things, so that's been nice. Yeah, no issues, no complaints on that. Again, we're going to suffer through the instructions on this for the first foot and then leg. And then the second one will probably be a much smoother experience because we will have built one. I said that, and then the last time the other arm was a weird thing to build. Let's push that to the edge there so you can kind of see what it is. All right, now we need 14 and 16. So, speaking of wrestling, I brought it up. I'll keep saying it. Let's talk about the results of last night's AEW pay-per-view, which I watched with some friends and was totally a good time. We checked out AEW Revolution. They only had one match in the pre-show, 0 hour, which was a little surprising that they only did one. Because they usually do multiple. It got a good amount of time. Also, there was plenty of other things happening, so which is always good. Always good when there's multiple things going on. But it was a little surprising that they only had one pre-show match. Yeah, we got a bunch of RJ City bits, which was nice. Yes, plenty of RJ City. Plenty of wrestlers who are not on the card. Getting some shenanigans in with Renee Paquette. One really annoying audience member that was like on camera by turning around. They were behind Renee and was just being a big doof and dipshit on camera. And just like, hey, fuck off. But yes, many good bits. And then some good wrestling. Because Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers, which is Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix, defeated Ari Daivari and the Varsity Athletes, who are Josh Woods and Tony Nese, in a pinfall victory. Fun action. I love the idea of Mark Briscoe just being very excited when he sees tag teams that are made up of brothers. There are many tag teams full of brothers in AEW, and I would like to see Mark trio with all of them. Top Flight and Mark Briscoe, that's nonsense in a way that I could get behind. Let's see, who else? We got Top Flight. We got the Gun Club. That would be weird, but we do it. Who cares? Who else are brothers in AEW? There gotta be. Oh, of course, the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Mark Briscoe. That would be fun and silly. And then, fuck it, have them show up on Ring of Honor and do an intergender match featuring the Renegade Sisters. Why the fuck not? That would be class. But yeah, I want to see him compete with all of the sibling tag teams in AEW. Yeah, that was a fun, easy start to the night. like high-flying, silly. Good showcase for Josh Woods, who is probably primed out of all of those guys to, like, get out of the doldrums and actually make a name for himself with doing some high-quality matches. I could see him with an ROH belt and not just occasionally winning and occasionally losing on their YouTube channels. I could see that for Woods. You know, he can't cut a promo, but he can work in the ring. So perhaps he will find something to do. Okay, so this needs to go here. Then this goes like this. Again, I don't know how this works. We'll figure it out as we go. Moving on. Hey, everybody. Well, we're talking about wrestling, so let's keep talking about the wrestling. It goes like that. Okay. Sorry. Looking at all this. Okay, that goes like that, and then this goes like this, and then this. Need to figure out this. There's one part of this that needs to. So these go like this. Hell yeah, I figured it out, everybody. That's nice. All right, not much to hit with the marker here, but we'll panel line this before we move on. And we'll talk about the opening contest. Ricky Starks defeating Chris Jericho. The Jericho Appreciation Society was banned from ringside, but Sammy Guevara still showed up like he was going to interfere, which doesn't make any sense. And then he got tackled by Action Andretti. Ricky won. I was honestly expecting Chris Jericho to win by shenanigans. Because when you're like banned from ringside, that often is code for people are going to show up. And like a new member of JS or Action Andretti got paid off and turned on Ricky Starks or something. But instead, nope. No, that the swerve was there was no swerve. Ricky Starks just beat Chris Jericho and theoretically ended this feud. Maybe, please ended this feud, because the idea that on a pay-per-view, at the opening match of a pay-per-view, Ricky Starks defeated Chris Jericho and then the story ended and they went their separate ways and did their separate things would be so fucking nice, because the alternative is that Jericho can't believe he lost, and so he's just going to make his life hell for a while until Jericho gets a win back somehow. Because it's very difficult to have a feud with Chris Jericho where he doesn't get his win back somehow, which is frustrating. It was a good match. Ricky looks good. Ricky got the crowd behind him. The audience still likes singing Jericho's theme, but they don't really care about him as a wrestler, and so that's good. That's fine. Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeated Christian Cage in a final burial match to win. You had to stuff your opponent in an actual casket that was on stage by the ramp. Stuff your opponent in a casket, close the lid, and then you win. It was a casket match, but they put in burial because there was dirt around and a shovel. But that was mostly, you didn't have to put dirt on it or anything like that. It was mostly just because that's fun. I guess it's fun to say that, so say that. Christian gets put in the casket, and then the lid gets shoved down on him. And then a hydraulic is heard, and the casket rushes to the ground. And Christian presumably goes to hell. But also then a little bit of smoke came out of the hole. And that fucking rules. That's nonsense in a way that I love very much. And I'm so thrilled happened. Why can't I get this? That is the outcome of a match. That the second match on the card involved someone taking apparently a casket ride to hell. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? That rules. It's nonsense in a way that I very much love. I also hope this. I hope that this ended. This match ended this storyline, and Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, can go on and do other stuff, and then Christian can find someone new to manage or something. I don't really care, but they gotta be fucking done. This gotta be done. Can't with this anymore. Gotta move on to something else. Got to move on to something else. All right, we got part 1 done here. Then we'll need C19. The House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, with Julia Hart in their corner, defeated the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, with Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa on their corners, by pinfall. This match was long, and it fucking whipped ass, and Julia Hart got involved in good ways, and the crowd was really impressed, and I didn't think I wanted House of Black to win, because in my mind, the Elite lost. All right, fine. Well, maybe we'll turn it into a storyline, and they'll try to win the belts back because they like those belts, and we'll get more from these two teams, because that would be great. But holy shit. House of Black needed this win. House of Black needed like a big time, like, yes, we did this. We got this done. We are spooky boys and our collective daughter, and we are champions, and that is great, and that is necessary. And I don't know what happens after that, but it's cool, and I'm into it. Jamie Hayter, with Dr. Britt Baker in her corner, defeated Saraya with Toni Storm and Ruby Soho via pinfall. The thing that I was expecting to happen happened. Sometimes it just does with a twist, but I was expecting Ruby Soho to be the one to take the pin and Jamie Hayter to retain her title. I was not expecting the swerve that came later, where, for reasons unapparent, apparently one could maybe guess frustration with not winning, Ruby Soho ended up joining the Bad Girl team, the Outsiders team of Saraya and Toni Storm. And that's, look, heel Ruby is good. Heel Ruby is very good. But I don't need Ruby Soho to be in this terrible angle. This very bad, terrible angle. That doesn't work. Don't need that. I think it sucks, and Ruby is better than that. Ruby turning is a bummer, but at least Hayter is still champ. Yes, last week they did not put the belt on Saraya, which is what I was afraid they were going to do. I was afraid they were going to put the belt on Saraya to further the storyline, and that Jamie would have a short reign. I think it would be very funny if the third person that the originals get to back them up to make this even, it would be very funny if that is Thunder Rosa, who is not cleared to wrestle, but he's backing around. It also could be Chris Statlander, but I think Chris Statlander, who is, she is well enough to bowl. She was there for their AEW Celebrity Bowling Tournament thing. But apparently Chris is ready for that and ready to be around. It would be very, very funny if she came back in that storyline, but I'd rather she come back into, defeating Jade, who was not in the fucking show. That's right. There were 2 belts that were not defended. 2 AEW belts were not defended. One of them was the All-Atlantic, but the All-Atlantic champion was in a match. The tag match, and the other was the TBS championship, which was not defended. They just didn't have Jade wrestle, and that seems fucking weird and stupid. Have a good night, Harold. Thanks for stopping in. As always, my friend, hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Get this going in there. Yeah, that was Hangman Adam Page defeated Jon Moxley by submission. Not by blood loss, although it did. This was a Texas death match. Although Hangman kept calling it Texas Death. It was in San Francisco, but it's the style of the match. The reason why they're calling it that. It was brutal and bloody and rough, and I'm kind of over that shit. You know, it's like at this point it's just like, all right, like even the announcers are just like countdown to blood. Like they're over it. Like everyone is over this. Nobody is just like giving. It's like everyone's like, oh yeah, and then of course he bleeds because why wouldn't he bleed right now? I'm just tired of it. Jon Moxley did not bleed in his fight with Evil Uno. Evil Uno bled. So then after that match, he got attacked by Hangman, and then he got bloody there. So he did catch blood. He did get some blood that night, but it wasn't during the match. But there was still blood, and I'm just sick of it. I'm just tired of it. I am fucking definitely tired of Jon Moxley bleeding all over the place. I would like him to not do that. We'll see. If this is the end of this storyline, I would think it is, but I don't know. But it would be great if Jon Moxley did things that did not involve his own blood for just like a minute, like a little while, just like do something else. What if, John? What the fuck if? All right, we're getting some progress done on here. We will have to panel line this bottom part of this leg. We'll get to that in a second here. Cover this up like this. Oh. Gotta put this on first. How do you go on? What's your problem? There we go. Yeah, this kid is just weird. It was probably my favorite match of the night, but I did spend a lot of the show distracted trying to get new Chromecast to work. So that was a very good match. I don't think it was my match of the night, but it was very good. My match of the night is either the trios match, the 6-man, or the main event, which I really did enjoy. So it's one of those two. I just don't know which one it is, to be fair. But I did like it. Look, I went to too many ECW shows and CCW after that. I just had like flecks of wrestler blood on me. I just had that too much in my life to be super excited about seeing blood. It's a product of getting older, I'm sure, but also just getting tired of it. Jon Moxley bleeding doesn't do anything for me anymore. It isn't like, oh, this match is serious because he bleeds just cause. So yeah, it's like, Then we had Wardlow defeating Samoa Joe by technical submission. That was technically a submission. It was not a good choke. It looked like a big hug. This was the outcome I think a lot of people were expecting. You move Joe just into Ring of Honor. You give some, in my opinion, it will be a short title reign because I see Hobbs defeating him on Wednesday because Hobbs is the face of the Revolution. So I see Hobbs picking that belt up and then Wardlow chasing that belt again. That is my guess. I don't know for sure, of course. But yeah, Wardlow looked all right against Joe. This is a very short match. It was 10 minutes. It was the shortest match on the card. It was shorter than the 6-man pre-show match. And I'm sorry. It is the second shortest match. It was about a minute longer than the women's trios match. Or trio match, which I did not realize. That fucking sucks. That match that had story. And of course that match did have stuff that happened after. This one didn't really. There's a little bit of shenanigans, but not many shenanigans. All right, we did one leg. Now we got to do the exact other leg, which is the same, but slightly changed around, of course. So we'll build that next. Let's see. We had in our semi-main event, the Gun Club. Or the Guns, I should say. They're not the Gun Club. They're the Guns. Colton Gunn and Austin Gunn, who are the tag champions. They took on the acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster with Billy Gunn. That's their dad. That's the Gunn's dad in their corner, I should say. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, who had Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh in their corner. And Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, who are not necessarily a tag team, but they did replace a tag team in a Battle Royal or a Casino Royale. And then because they won that, so they had to start in there. I will say this. This happened exactly how I thought it was going to go down. That the Guns were going to pin Danhausen, who is not by default a tag team wrestler and not an official tag team. So it would be fine for him to get pinned and lose. Totally okay. Doesn't hurt anybody. But in the process of doing that match and taking that pin, we got to see Danhausen fucking wrestle his ass off and showcase how good a wrestler he is. We have not seen him do that since he tagged with Hook. Danhausen, even when he's in multi-man tag matches in AEW, often does not do much in those matches. He's mostly there for comic relief, which he is, of course, excellent at. He is a very funny individual and very good at the jokes. So it makes sense that he is constantly being used in a comedic role because he's very good at it. But also, he is a competent wrestler. So it is nice to see him be showcased as a guy that can fucking go. Good bits of business with a lot of people. Satnam Singh took a famouser from Billy Gunn. That's funny. The Guns again beat on their own father, which is a weird thing. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing that that there's a tag team in AEW and they attack their for real life father sometimes. It's just strange. It's just a strange real thing. I don't know what to tell you. It's weird. To me, that's a weird thing. That is just part of the process of AEW. Is that sometimes two guys beat up on their dad. And then the main event. MJF defeated Daniel Bryan 4-3 in sudden death overtime in a 60-minute Iron Man match. At the conclusion of the Iron Man match, it was 3-3. MJF was declared the winner because it was not, because he didn't lose. He didn't really win, but he retained the belt. But then Tony Khan decided, no, we're going to do sudden death. Next win wins. Going into this, I did not think that our boy was going to actually do more than 60 minutes. He did more than that because of sudden death. Did not think that MJF had it in him. I know MJF is a great wrestler who part of his gimmick is that he doesn't wrestle when he doesn't have to. But he can go. I thought it was great. I think Daniel Bryan got color way too soon in the match. Blood. And the blood was lessened by the fact that, hey, we saw so much earlier. AEW has made a decision that is weird to me, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think I like it. So, if you go under the ring and you pull out a table, and then you use that table is a disqualification. But if you put your opponent through a table that is the timekeeper's table. If you put your opponent through the timekeeper's table, that's fine because you didn't set up that table. It's akin to dropping your opponent on the ring steps or the the guardrail. So you can put your opponent through a table and it's fine because you didn't set that table up. You just took advantage of that table being there. And that is a weird distinction that I don't know if I like, but is interesting that that's how they go for it. He had to take 15 water breaks and have some pure oxygen. I mean, I imagine that was not real. The oxygen was just for show and shits and giggles, and he didn't actually huff that oxygen. He used it as a weapon. But yes, MJF did take water breaks to slow things down, which probably shouldn't have done. I mean, you want to get hydrated, but like, no, they're just gonna have a lot of water sloshing around there. And also, as people in one of the discords I'm in kept saying, he's gonna have to pee. He's just drinking all that water. He's gonna have to take a pee break. But the match was solid. Some of the moves were fucking brutal. There were a couple that I was like, hey, please stop saying yes to things like this, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. What are we doing here, Bryan? Stop saying yes to stuff like this. Your neck's all beat the fuck up, my dude. What if you stopped doing things where you land on your neck? Maybe if you're wearing a ton of bronzer, don't douse yourself with water. I mean, look, he's a heel. The thing that I hear from a lot of people is just like, MJF threw water at a kid and blah, 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 and stole something for somebody and just did all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, there's like 2 people in AEW who are genuinely hated on the heels. Like, there are 2 people that are like, because even Jay Lethal fucking sucks as a person, but sometimes the crowd is just like, yeah, Jay Lethal, all right. But it's Jeff Jarrett and MJF. They are the only actual heels in that company. Because, like, you'd think it'd be Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe fucking rules. So it's not Samoa Joe. There's only 2 people in that company who are actual assholes as characters. And I applaud MJF for being a fucking douchebag as a wrestler and using that as part of his wrestling gimmick, as being a fucking jerk. I respect it. I appreciate it. He works hard to be the worst. Christian Cage, Lashbrook, you know what? I would add Christian Cage in. Christian Cage, they're 3. Because even Ethan Page, who is a great heel, Ethan Page is still paired with Matt Hardy. And even if though he's a dick to Matt Hardy, by being part of the Hardy Party, he is still enjoyable. And then Stokely is a heel manager, but is fucking hilarious. Mark Sterling gets beat up so much that you kind of like him because you know he's going to get beat up. Like, if he ran away from fights more, then people would hate Mark Sterling more. But he's just like, nah, he gets his comeuppance so much. He got his comeuppance at the in the fucking pre-show last night. I should drop like this. Mr. Bob brings up I wish they would make a new version of this. Probably still a top high grade of mine. Yeah, this kid is really showing its age. Like, I'm really having to put pressure to get stuff to lock in together here. The arms, I added a blue tack to them because the hands didn't want to stay on the arms. This is a rough kit. It looks great. I'm thrilled to be working on it. But it does feel like I am trying very hard to make this like an excellent kit. And it wants to be an excellent kit. It's just we're struggling here, trying to get it all done, which is a shame. But I am enjoying the process of putting it together, even if sometimes I'm looking at it and going like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? What do you want me to do? Which is a bad feeling. They're adding B. Priestley to WWE 2K23. It says DeFi on sale. Are they? Are they adding B. Priestley to WWE 2K23? Or they added her? I have not been keeping up with WWE 2K23's lineup. I did not know that that Blair B. Priestley, Blair Davenport was even in NXT these days. I am so out of the loop when it comes to NXT. But yeah, I guess Blair is over there. But I'm out of the loop. That would be a weird choice. I'm totally like not sure what's going on with that lineup. Let's be fair. I'm generally not super interested in like who's on the roster. I'm always more interested in what the creator wrestler tools are and what weird characters people are making. I'm definitely always more interested in that than are my favorites on there. I mean, sometimes it's fun, especially the classics. You know, wrestlers, those can be fun. But yeah, I think I'm generally more interested in like, okay, what do we got here? What weirdos are popping in? What are people making? I think that's more interesting to me. Yeah, but that is AEW Revolution. Overall, this is not the best card ever for AEW, which is some people have said. It was good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was I think that the 2021 Revolution was probably had better highs. This is just my own personal thing. Your friend Pat. I don't know if I could put an AEW card that doesn't have Eddie Kingston on it in like the top. You know what I mean? Because I just love Eddie so much. And I know he's doing the Ring of Honor thing and he's quit AEW storyline wise and all that. I understand that. But like, I love Eddie Kingston so much that I don't know if I could like put a card that he wasn't on at the top. But I thought the matches were excellent. I forgot to say, tag match. FTR came out. FTR is back. They people were like, wait, I thought they were going to WWE. So they had said that they were going to take some time off and they were going to do some indies and maybe they weren't going to re-sign. Maybe they were just going to do a bunch of indies and just see what's out there and travel overseas and do all that stuff. You know, stuff they could do if they wanted to anyway. Maybe they couldn't go overseas for a long period of time, but they could fucking do shows. But what they did do is drop the Ring of Honor titles, lose to the Guns, lose in the AAA titles, and then also lose the IWGP title. So they lost all the belts they had, and then they were on a break, didn't wrestle anywhere, didn't do anything, and now they're back. And supposedly their break was storyline reasons. Maybe also because Cash just like has knee problems consistently. So hopefully his knee is, not bothering him as much. But yeah, I'm fine with that. FTR just comes in and they're, probably going to. One could assume that they would defeat the Guns at a certain point, take the tag belts back, and then go into a program with someone else. Or they could have some really good matches with the Guns and solidify the Guns as an actual really good tag team, which they're not the best tag team, but they're like a totally fine, competent heel tag team. So perhaps we will see them actually defend the belts, against FTR. I don't know for sure. I don't know where they're going with it. But yeah, I'm not like against FTR being back in that spot, being back or being in the back in the top spot. Obviously, I would like to see the Best Friends win the tag titles because I love Chuck and Trent. Trent, I have only met on one occasion. He was nice. Chuck Taylor, I have met on numerous occasions. He has been excellent and great to work with, and just like a stellar dude. And also, it must be said that the Best Friends have never won tag belts together in any company, which is wild. No indie fed, not ROH. Those two guys have never won tag gold together, and that is bonkers. And they should do it in AEW at some point. I would like to see that. I don't know if it'll happen. Hey, if you were paying attention to the internet today, specifically if you were looking at some dumb shit on Twitter, you knew we would talk about this in my ongoing efforts to continuously dunk on Elon Musk for all of his many reasonable dunkable offenses. Let's talk about how the Twitter API basically fucking broke today. They were doing some upgrades and changing some systems, and somebody goofed. Only one site reliability engineer has been staffed on the project they were doing. And on Monday, that engineer made a bad configuration change that, quote unquote, basically broke the Twitter API. You may remember that for a period today, images weren't loading. And also external links didn't work. Like if someone posted a link and you clicked on it, it wouldn't load the page, including Twitter like help stuff. Like you couldn't click on a link from Twitter Support to help.twitter.com. Like that didn't fucking work. It was a real fucking mess there. The changes had cascading consequences inside the company. This is a quarter report. Bringing down much of Twitter's internal tools along with public-facing APIs. Yeah, like basically like everything got fucking housed. Sorry, just gotta go. It was a good time to be funny on brand Twitter. Yes. Yeah, a bunch of things were just like, oh, you can't see this image, and it wasn't a real image they were posting. They were doing shit like that. But yes, Power Wash Simulator was having some shenanigans, some other people as well. Some brand Twitter was trying to make hay. On Slack, engineers responded with variations of crap and Twitter is down, the entire thing, as they scrambled to fix the problem. And then Elon Musk got out there and he was just like, you know what? Turns out this website is like being held together with string and a lot of this code is whatever. Basically just like the most like basic ass like realization of someone just being like, hey, wait. Turns out you can't just easily change some stuff in here and it will have cascading effects. Huh. Weird. Getting this fucking piece together is turning to be a real nightmare. It worked fine on the other one. I don't know why this one is. But basically, I have to line this up just right so they snap in place. Which feels bad. Getting this part lined up right and snapped in place does not feel good. It feels like I'm going to break something. All right, I got it. That did not feel good. There's another piece of Elon Musk stuff that I must talk to you about. This is from the Daily Beast, so, take it for what, take it with a grain of salt, of course. Apparently, Elon Musk has bodyguards. Now, that's not too outlandish, right? You think like, okay, there's already an article out there about how an engineer broke Twitter. Last week I was talking about that. Yes. But the thing is that is the fall guy, but what I was saying was the reason why they can blame someone is because they only had one person working on that. So you can't blame a team of one guy. You can just blame the guy. But the reason why there's only one person there is because of all of the people that got fired or quit and didn't get replaced. There's just a lack of personnel there. But in a separate thing, okay, Elon Musk having bodyguards. Sure, he says that he's been threatened before and blah, blah, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Of course, one of the people that has been threatening him is not related at all to Twitter. It is separate other things, but whatever. So that's been going down. No, these are bodyguards while he's at Twitter. He has bodyguards that follow him around at work because he is convinced that someone is going to, quote unquote, go rogue on him within the company. So if you're wondering how the work environment is at Twitter, the fucking CEO of the company has bodyguards. You may remember these bodyguards as posing or being with him when he was at the fraud trial in January, but now they're with him while there. Wherever he goes, this is a quote from a employee there that only identifies as Sam. There are at least 2 bodyguards, very bulky, tall, everywhere he goes, even when he goes to the restroom. So even if he's got to, he's got to have an important meeting, he's still going to have his bodyguards enter the restroom with him. Does not trust the remaining staff at Twitter HQ in San Francisco. That's basically it. That's basically the whole thing. It's just that this is a guy that is so afraid of the employees he has left. It's like no wonder that things are not going particularly excellente for Mr. Musk. It is very funny that he is in his own job and has bodyguards for his own business. We'll take a pause for the calls in a bit. We are almost ready to do the main version of this kit, and then of course we have to convert it because there is like this mode, but then there's another mode. So we're gonna we're gonna finish the waist here, and the weapons, and then we'll take a photo of the kit this way, and then I'll switch it up. And we'll take the arms off and replace them with other arms. It's a silly thing to say. Let's see. Is there any... Mr. Beast is selling chocolate. God. So this is the thing about this, right? It's one thing that Mr. Beast has a line of chocolate at Walmart, and you're like, what? Why the fuck does that happen? That's a weird thing to say, Pat. Why is that? Why is that a thing? Here's the weirder thing. Apparently, he's unhappy with how... Hey, Xandra. So, Xandra, Mr. Beast is a YouTuber that one of his biggest claims to fame is... the way he uses money that he has, right? Because he has like a crew of people. It's a lot of like stunt stuff, a lot of stunt nonsense. It makes sense that you're not super familiar with him. Mr. Beast has like that thing of like, hey, let's all be handcuffed to one another, and whoever doesn't quit, and stays the longest chained to another person before they quit, wins $1,000. And he's got like a crew of people around him. Yes, he also did, he recreated Squid Games in real life, of course, missing the point. And then when he made Squid Game, it was just like, YouTube is changing the thing because our version of Squid Game only costs this amount to produce, but their version costs this amount. And it's just like, yeah, but they made it a TV show, and you made a one-time YouTube video. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then also, people got hurt on the Netflix version of that, because, of course, they made a Netflix version of his version of it. And then people got hurt, and working conditions were terrible, because, of course, they fucking were. But, yeah. Mr. Bob says, the smaller circle guy. Yes, he's the modern version of rich kids putting iPods into microwaves. Yeah. He's also the modern version of rich kids daring you to eat that thing. You know what I mean? Like, when we thought of rich kids growing up, like the rich kid in your neighborhood probably wasn't rich. He probably just had an allowance and you didn't. Or he had a bigger allowance than you. But the kid that is just like, I'm going to pay you $1 to eat that worm. I will never eat that thing. Yes. But he is the guy that would offer you $1 to eat that thing. Or like he would offer a drunk person $10 to drink to finish everyone's drinks. Or that he's that kind of fucking guy. He's got money and he wants to be an asshole with it. But because he donates to charity, and sometimes he'll just like trick his fans into like making an appearance somewhere and then give that fan like a new computer or whatever, because he is like occasionally gives away things. And I must fucking stress this to you. If he's giving away a thing, he either got it for fucking free or he's being paid to give it away. Come the fuck on. I know you know this, but a lot of people are just like, but he gives money to fans that he then, of course, writes as a tax write-off. Because of fuck, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's not his own money. In the same way, it was never Ben Stein's money. It was an allotment of money set aside by Comedy Central that if at the end of the season, at certain points, he could take that money as a guarantee, but it wasn't actually Ben Stein's money. It was Ben Stein's allotted money from Comedy Central. Yes, Lord Crashington. He got his fans to basically work retail. He's got chocolates, and he's like, hey, can you help clean up the displays? Because apparently, you know, it's a Walmart. Things get messy. Things get moved around. He was unhappy with how his displays looked, and he was asking his fans to make the displays look nicer if they happen to come across them in a Walmart, which is like, hey, bro, what's up with your Walmart contract or your contacts at Walmart? Why are you trying to, like, employ your fans as volunteers to help your chocolate business? Complete nonsense. But yeah, he, like, tweeted. And, of course, it got, like, 115,000 likes, which is just hurts my head and heart to think about. A review of his chocolates is that someone wrote, they don't taste bad. That is a review of the chocolates. Sorry, those workers can't fix up everything in the grocery section at all times. Yeah, exactly, Lord Crashington. Like, maybe if Walmart paid their employees more, then they would be, and hired more people, then your display would work well. Maybe you should do that, my dude. Why don't you offer to supplement some Walmart employees? Awful. All you had to do was say, "Hey, y'all, are y'all buying my chocolates? If they're in Walmart, check them out." It's just fucking weird. And I guess a bunch of people did. A bunch of people did go out and do that, and that sucks. That sucks too. It's not just that he asked that shit. That he asked for volunteer labor to help him sell chocolate better. Quote unquote better. It's that people were just like, you got it, dude. I'm on it. I got you. And that makes me sad. Xandra says, I commissioned a comic from a cool artist that got like 15,000 likes. I feel pretty good about that. Xandra, I love that. I should also say, speaking of commissions, if you're currently a subscriber to the old Bill with Baer, why don't you throw any of the emotes you want, my emotes, into chat, because Xandra made all of those. I commissioned Xandra for all 4 of these. One was a gift, and I appreciate that very much. But yeah, that is a thing you could just do. You could just commission an artist to make you look like Goku. And it's lovely. It's just a fun thing that exists. If you're just like, hey, what are your rates? And also, can you make me look like Goku? Or can you make me look like the Death Scythe? Because you know I like the Death Scythe. Or me as a Lego person. How about that? Or just my logo. You know, just like the Bear Cave logo. Which is nice. And looks great on a button. You can just do that. You can just be like, hey, Like, that's just a thing you can do. I don't know. Instead of using a lot of computer resources to make AI art that's trained off stolen artwork, you can just, instead of being an FX group on YouTube that made their quote unquote own anime using AI, which was trained on another fucking anime. Oh, God. It also looks bad. That fucking Collateral Damage anime looks awful. And they were like, look at all the shit we can do. We're changing the game. And he's like, no, you're not. Look, I would love for the anime industry to change for the better vis-a-vis workers' rights. I think that would be great. Better health care, better hours, unionization of artists in anime. That would be rad as fuck. But the solution is not AI. That is 100% not solution. I love the people that I love. The idea that people who got famous on YouTube for making content are like, we need to democratize animation. It's just like, sure you do. Okay. Great, great, great. Also, it looks bad. Just yikes. Oof. Oh, I guess apparently some people were like, when I see your chocolate, I am going to mess up your display. And I don't make it fucking tough for Walmart employees. Please don't make it tough for employees. But also, I do like the instinct of, oh, you want people to help you? Well, I'll fucking help you. I'll help you real good. I can appreciate that, and I like that. I don't dislike that instinct. Just be like, fuck off. I'm going to make this hard. I'm going to make this difficult for just you. I don't dislike that. This person tweeted at Mr. Beast, I will continue destroying your chocolate displays unless you pay me $100,000. Is such a funny nonsense threat of just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to keep fucking this shit up. Pay me. Pay me or this doesn't stop. Is very funny. That shit is good. That's good. Just make chocolate bars lie down at a regular bar. Yes. Someone said, I caught this man after he bumped into a Feastables display at Walmart. I am slowly poisoning him with gas, and he's begging for his life. Shall I finish him off, sir? This is very funny. Good nonsense. Some good nonsense. There's a bunch of people. And then someone made a parody photo of it saying, I hunted 100 people when you don't organize Mr. Beast chocolate bars. It's good business. Good business. Don't mess up displays. Workers have to clean them up. But do shoplift. Yes. Yes. Do maybe mislabel the displays. All right. We are almost body complete on this kit. We do have to do a little bit of weaponry addition. And then we're almost done with this weirdo kit. But there is a second version of the kit. There's a modification we make. The underwater version. This is the water version of this weird thing. But we do need to add in the launchers here. It's very easy to put these together. This is missiles. Or whatever. All right, so we'll get these connected together. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, and then we'll get into the second form of this kit. Just got to get these on here. But it'll be nice to have one version of this done. And then you can see here, we just got to add some underwater stuff. And then we have to change up how the arms work. And also add stickers. These things are going to need a bunch of stickers to make them look proper, which is fine. Oh, God, Mr. Beast. Fucking garbage. Garbage time. It's just garbage time. Hey, there's going to be a new Ninja Turtles animated movie, and it looks pretty fucking cool. And I'm excited about it. You got, like, Seth Rogen, who's kind of behind the fact the thing existing. Jackie Chan, John Cena, Paul Rudd, Maya Rudolph. Just like a lot of good people are in there doing their thing. And that's fun. But yeah, it looks good. Looks neat. And I'm excited about that. That's coming August 4th. It does look really neat. So I'm going to say, hey, maybe check it out. I don't know. Turtles look neat. Jackie Chan voicing Splinter is cool. That's just cool. I like that. Let's see what we got here. I want to check the tweet of this. Okay, I got to go over here to the full cast list. Let's see, we got... oh, yeah, Hannibal Buress is in it. Hannibal Buress is going to be a Ninja Turtles movie as Genghis Frog. Ice Cube is Superfly. Giancarlo Esposito is Baxter Stockman. And there's a character... I don't know the character Ray Fillet. I don't know who Ray Fillet is, but I do know that Post Malone is voicing Ray Fillet, and that's weird. Also, Jackie Chan is doing Splinter. Rogan is going to be Bebop, and John Cena is Rocksteady. Seth Rogen and John Cena are Bebop and Rocksteady, respectively. That is funny in a way that I am so on board for. And then, yeah, Rogan is producing. Genghis Frog is such a good line. Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. That's also pretty good. Yeah. Good casting. Some cool shit. I'm into it. Looks neat. Also, Jeff Rowe directed the Mitchells versus the Machines, which I've heard very good things about and did not see. All right, so this is version 1 of this kit. This is the non-aquatic version. This is the quote-unquote land version of this weirdo. So let's take a photo of that. Then we'll take a pause for the cause. Then we'll come back and we will start working on other parts of this. Apparently, Eric Pope replied to the Mr. Beast tweet saying, "Why aren't these called Beastables, though?" Which, you know what? Fair point. Why aren't they called Beastables? You could have called them Beastables. You might actually have fucked up by not calling them Beastables. Touche, Pope. All right, I got to take a photo of this, and then we'll take a pause for the cause. But let me get this version done, because we do have to modify this kit some. So we want to make it look good first. We'll do that. Yeah. All right, that version's done. Okay, what's happening right now, friends, if you're unaware, is I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel and all I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to do some of these things, you're more than welcome to. As a Rehearsed fan did, first and foremost, throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat if you are currently a subscriber. Throw those emotes into chat. That's the easiest way to show people, hey, this is a cool thing you get for being a subscriber, which is an easy way to help me in what I do here, is by doing that. I certainly appreciate it. Subscribing is the easy way to support what I do. As we said, Xandra made all of those emotes, and we thank her for making cool versions of me. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. We're currently way over, the usual goal, because I did a subathon, and so I hit like my all-time goal. Currently we're at 75 subscribers, which is wild. But you could become a subscriber. You could gift a sub. No one's gifted any subs this month. You could do bits and coins. Those are always appreciated. That's a way to help me out through Twitch. It's not the only way. If you are not interested in subscribing through Twitch, but you do want to help me out on a monthly basis, consider my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider being a patron. And then also, there is my YouTube channel. Subscribing to my YouTube channel is free, of course, but there's a membership there. And $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So if you signed up today, on tomorrow, you would get a video that other people are going to see on Wednesday. And this one is pretty good. I have the character that I wrote and performed has a parody, has a silly name that I think you'll like. Now, those are monthly ways to support me, but there's also one-times. If you just want to, like, every once in a while, help out your friend Pat Baer, you could do that through my PayPal or my Stream Elements or through Coffee. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which also includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And then I take money out of that fund to buy kits. I bought this kit not too long ago because of your generosity and having money in that fund. I was like, oh, I can pick up this cool model kit. And so I did. Very happy to have that. The same thing applies to the next kit I'll be working on that my $10 patrons voted on, that I will be sure to be building soon. I'm able to put that kit together because of the generosity of viewers like you, which is uber kind of you. Let's see. Now, I said I have something on deck to build. Look, there's a way to jump the queue. If there's something you really want to see me build on stream, the best way to get that to happen is to buy it off my Amazon wish list. Because I got a bunch of cool shit on my Amazon wish list, and I would be happy to build it, and it would jump the queue. It'd become the next thing that I put together, and I would give you a shout out and make a video about the thing that you purchased, put that up on the internet. My YouTube. I've got Lego sets. I've got model kits. I've got one puzzle. I got a Gundam puzzle. I put that together. Inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits with free shipping, kits with not free shipping, all kinds of different stuff that I will be happy to build if you purchased it for me. And then there's some gear at the bottom because gear is always nice. I am expecting a package of some gear that someone picked up, which is very kind of them. And then also there's a gift card to GameStop for $50, which I would use that and then some of my own money to purchase WWE 2K23 because it would be good to have WWE 2K23 at some point. We might do another WWE 2K22 stream, like one final one, but eventually I'm going to have to upgrade to the new one when that comes out. Anyway, that's my wish list. My alternative to that is I have a throne wish list because it's nice to have an alternative to Amazon. It's nice to have another way for people to purchase things they like to see me build on stream, if they're so inclined. And then, of course, the final way is USA Gundam Store. That's the most complicated way because you have to go there, you have to make an account with USA Gundam Store, you have to buy a gift card, they'll send you an email with that gift card code, and then you take that gift card code and you DM me on Twitter because my DMs are open, or you send me a whisper on Twitch. And that is, unfortunately, the only way to do that. Oh, wow. I'm getting some spam there. I was just like, I should check to see if anyone has tried to send me a DM, and the answer was just spammers. Excellent. If you want to support me and you don't want to spend any money, join my Discord. My Discord is full of lovely people. It is a cute little, nice little chill community, and you're welcome to hang out there if you are interested in doing that. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, a couple video links for you to check out. Then we'll get back to building. We'll start working on the alternate version of this kit. And I'll talk about some manga and some anime. If you missed it, during my stream last Tuesday, and this is the last time I will plug this video, as my sub goal for getting to 75 subscribers, I drank PILK for the first time. That's 50% Pepsi, 50% milk. Pepsi milk, PILK. I drank it, and I talked about the process of drinking it, because I hit 75. I'm usually not into punishment game stuff, but I did it for that, because I wanted to get 75 subscribers. The latest episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is out. It was a large glass. It was this size glass. It was this very similar glass. No, it was good, Lord Crashington. I'm okay. I was worried that my stomach would get upset. I think eating a couple hours later helped. I didn't immediately eat, but I did eat something. But it was fine. Honestly, it's just like, it's kind of like drinking the end of a root beer float, only it's a lot of the end of a root beer float. That's kind of, or like a Coke float. That's kind of what it is. But it's just the tail end of it. Anyway, that video exists. You can check that out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I'll have a new episode out on Monday. The most recent one was me talking about anime that was adapted from visual novels. And I got to talk briefly about the Sega Saturn, which I've never been able to do in Pat Bear's Anime Club. And that was fun. And then Baerly Rehearsed. Oh, God. I don't even remember what this last one was. I have a new one coming out. So I kind of forgot what this one was. I'm going to really quickly click on this link and tell you which one this was. Oh, this was the tutorial. Great. I know this one. The tutorial is based on a true story of me watching a very boring technical tutorial and thinking this person might be falling asleep. And then I took it in a comedic direction. Because that's what I do. These are comedy videos that I promise I have barely rehearsed, but I have put some effort in. I got a new one coming out on Wednesday. Check that out. I'm going to talk about some manga, and then I will talk about some anime, because that is what we're doing here right now. And we'll get into that in just a minute. But first, I have to dramatically transition back to this so that we can talk about some manga and some anime. And to do that, I will dramatically transition with some music and drink some water. And then we'll get back to building right now. All right. First, let's talk some manga. We're going to talk about the Dropout 1-star witch unconsciously uses cheats today as well. So, this is in the category. Friends, you know this category. We've talked about it before on this stream, on this very stream. We have chatted about the category of, the subcategory of action series and adventure series known as Banished. I used to say kicked, but I think banished is the better one because, especially in this case, it's not the hero's party, but it's somebody who is either misunderstood and is actually incredibly strong and powerful, or wasn't, but in being banished, they unlock their potential. But it's usually the former of just people like just fucking not getting it, just not understanding. And that's the case here. We got a dude who studied, people really liked him, he was doing really well, he's a prestigious university, everything's looking up, everything is going pretty good for him, and then he gets his ranking, his star ranking, which is incredibly important in the country he is in. It means everything. And he gets 1-star rank. and the person, his best friend, who he was probably, you're gonna be with, can't really be with him, and it's a fucking nightmare. And he doesn't fight it. He just goes, yeah, makes sense. I'm a 1-star. Well, maybe I can be an adventurer. Maybe I can find some work. So he just leaves and kind of pieces out and tries to lay low, and he ends up staying in a place where the guy begrudgingly accepts him because his father is a 1-star or a 2-star, and it's just like, it's rough. But, he kind of perseveres, and, he's got, it's all 1-star magic, but he does have abilities. He is a good support mage, so maybe he can become an adventurer. And you probably know where this is going, but I'll spell it out. He's fucking great at being... He's a 1-star, but it's not a mistake, but he's got cheat abilities, because he just has an overwhelming amount of magic power and incredible knowledge in what to use it for and how to use it, because he went to that school and studied hard. So, there's a group that are like, yeah, we don't care that you're a 1-star. You're clearly excellent. You are so good at what you do. You should have confidence in yourself. And we're sorry that things didn't go great for you. But, fucking what are you talking about? And, of course, there's a girl that, clearly has some feelings for him. And he doesn't quite know how to handle that. And then her sister is like, hey, you gotta fucking, step up on this. And he meets a great group of people, and things start going well for him, and who the fuck knows where it's going to go. Is this a great manga? No. Is this a good one of those? Yes. If you are interested in the Banished style story, this is a fine one of them in that subgenre of the adventuring series. This is not an isekai, and I know some people just can't with isekai, so maybe this would be an okay one. But yeah, it's got its comedy, it's got its silliness. The supporting characters, I think, are all pretty fun, and the world is interesting. And even if you get frustrated with an issue with the underestimated, not even just the Banished in particular, but the underestimated. One of the issues with the underestimated is that, when the main character believes what everyone says, right? At least our person is kind of stepping up and figuring out, well, I can still help people, and I can still do stuff, and I can still live a life. But it is frustrating. That is a big frustration. I talked before about the guy who is... He was a hero in a former life, and now he is just a dude that everyone thinks sucks, but then they witness him be awesome, and no one can fucking accept it. There's another one that I've been reading. A guy who just basically is a jack of all trades, master of none. No, he just has high dexterity. All he has is high dexterity, and everyone's like, oh, that sucks. But they don't realize that he has high dexterity, and he can transfer his dexterity skill to any other skill, and he can also learn every job. And no one understands or can figure out why he's awesome and doing so well. And it's well, clearly he doesn't suck, even though you've been told he sucks. Clearly that information was wrong. And how long are we going to go with people just thinking that this is a lie? What the fuck are we doing here? So I can see that being frustrating. This one isn't that frustrating because our main guy does try hard, and it is well, I'm doing okay. I mean, it sucks that I'm a 1-star, but I'm still contributing. I think it'll be all right. And he's grateful for having people that want to work with him and support him. So, it's not great, but it's something to read. It's fine. Ironhide is here saying, why do dwarves make great electricians? Because many hands make light work. And then Ironhide wants me to ring the bell. And I will ring the bell. I have a physical bell. Thank you for using your channel points for this silly thing. Thank you very much for ringing, for having me ring that bell, and then also thank you for the entrance joke, Ironhide. Appreciate that. All right, so that was the manga that I wanted to talk to you about. Of course, again, that is the Dropout 1-star witch unconsciously uses cheats today as well, which is totally fine, but not necessarily great. But I didn't want to talk about it. And now let's talk about Endo and Kobayashi live, the latest on the Tsundere villain Lieselotte. This episode I was going to talk about on Saturday, but I got busy and couldn't watch that episode because this is a show where a lot of things happen, but not sometimes. This episode, nothing really happens. I should also say that we will not be talking about Buddy Daddies because they put out at episode 8.5. They did not put out episode 9. They had a kind of like mid-ish season break recap episode, and I will not be covering that because there's no new information. Ironhide the Fourth asks, how goes the Hy-Gogg? The Hy-Gogg goes fine. This is a 20-year-old kit, and it's definitely showing its age. Sometimes the parts, especially because like you can take apart the claws to change it over for the water mode. So because of that, like it's kind of a little flimsy, and I don't love that part of it. But I will say, like, for the most part, this kit is totally acceptable. But of course, it does show its age. And it will have a bunch of stickers that we will have to apply here soon as well. But we can put the backpack on, the water, because we're doing the water mode now. So we're going to put that on there. And then we'll get that on. You can see that there. But now we got to take the arms off here. Okay, so we want to... Okay, we take this parts off. We're going to take this off. Why are you being weird? All right, so Endo and Kobayashi live. This episode, like, had a lot... Like, they're basically just, like, killing time and, like, letting you know that, hey, there is plot coming. We're not going to talk about plot, but it is coming. Like there is going to be some plot, y'all. Just like hang out. We're not going to get into exactly what the plot's going to be, but there is going to be plot. It's just like all right, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Because there's a whole thing where like Endo and Kobayashi are like having to do something. Like they're just going to be like. They have to compose entertainment for the festival. There's a school festival, because of course there's a fucking school festival, because there's always a goddamn school festival. All right, so we can take these parts of the arm off here. Take these off. And then we have to build things that encase the arms, and then the arms will go back up, and then these will go down, and that will be the undersea mode. And of course, these will involve some stickers. Oh yeah, and then this goes like, these go like this for the undersea mode. Those will go down like that. All right, so as I put these together and then put some stickers on, I'll tell you more about Endo Kobayashi Live. So yeah, there's a whole thing about like a murder mystery thing that they have to do. Like it's stalling, right? Like both in the game world and in the real world, there's just a lot of stalling going with this anime, which is like not the end of the world because we do get cute couples interacting, but it's not my favorite. And at one point I will say this. Everyone is starting to understand that these two are going to be an item at some point or should be an item, and they are immediately sick of it. And I appreciate that in an anime when you have two characters acting lovey-dovey and then other people are just like, take your flirting somewhere else. Get out of here. We don't need this flirting. We don't want this flirting. I appreciate that. I enjoy that element when people are just like, hey, don't do this here. Come on. We're in school. It's like, go somewhere else to flirt. I like that. I think that is a funny joke. All right, so then this is going to go... How does this in case? We'll attach this, and then we will get the stickers on here. All right, this is just kind of just folds over it. All right, that does that. And then we'll put some stickers on there in a minute. Looks like most of the rest of the stream is going to be sticker application, which is perfectly fine with me. Let's put some stickers on here. And then we'll... get some stickers on, and then we'll keep talking about some anime. So yeah, this is a fine episode. It was just kind of a holding pattern. We got a reappearance of the guy who maybe is the reason this is all happening. We still don't know. And Kobayashi is basically becoming the new club president, which is fun. That's kind of fun. We don't hate that. But yeah. Not a lot happened in this episode. Kind of was hoping for a bit more action. That one of the fun things is that we're going to see... she didn't want to wear a gown, Lise, but it looks like she's going to wear, like, her military uniform. Her, like, guard uniform, which would be fun. And that's the big tease. It's like, oh, she's going to wear that. And, of course, everybody is excited about that because that'll be cute and fun. So that's Endo and Kobayashi live. We are moving towards something happening here, like the upcoming fight with the witch, and basically concluding the series. Like all that is coming. We just haven't gotten there quite yet. I'm gonna take this part out here because this thing is not gonna work right with this sticking out. But we'll know it's supposed to go back there. But I'm not going to be able to have this. I'm not going to be able to work on this with it like that. All right, so the last step now is the application of stickers. And then I have these stickers with numbers on it. Oh, those go on there. Okay. All right, so I got to apply stickers, and I got to tell you about Handyman, Saitou, in Another World. So, what the fuck? Hey, remember the last episode of Handyman Saitou on Another World where the old man fucking died? Where he just, like, passed away from a disease? And Morlock was just dead? And everyone's just like, wait, what the fuck? What do you mean he died? Well, he fucking died. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so these are all this one here. How do these look? There's some color photos that I'm going to make use of here. This is that weird thing where there's no like good indent of like where the sticker should go. So I kind of have to like look at these photos of it. You want to be able to pop these off. So we're going to start here and then wrap around. So it starts and ends there, or it starts on either side. Because that way when I take it up, I don't rip the sticker. So basically, we're going to pick a spot here. Like this. And then wrap it around to there. So that if I wanted to separate these, I wouldn't have to break the sticker. Which makes sense. That totally makes sense. We'll just do that. Okay, so other things in this. So our dude is back. He's not dead. He apparently at some point at one time cast a one-time use resurrection spell, which is convenient. But of course, his memory is shot from all the spell use, so he does not remember why that happened. But he is not fully human again because one of his body parts has been devoured by a demon wolf. So the magic's incomplete because his body was incomplete. So they got to find that part. And apparently if he gets that part back, if he's retrieved, then the spell will be fully completed and he will not be randomly somewhat undead. And then he won't like lose his complete consciousness. Also, he cannot quite remember why why the knight Razilla, who has feelings for Saitou. But basically, she lost her parents when she was really young, and Saitou decided to take care of her. Or no, he decided to take care of her, and he asked Saitou, "Hey, if this doesn't work, please look after her." We know as an audience that he lost his child, and one of the reasons why he was working on time magic, one of the reasons why which would then accidentally led to him summoning Saitou here in the first place, was because of the loss of his own daughter. But he doesn't know that, or he doesn't remember that happened, which is fucking sad. There's a sticker on here, and I don't know where it goes, and I bet it look cool somewhere. I just don't know where it's. Oh. Does that go on the face? Around the eye? Sorry, friends. I'm just realizing that there was a sticker that I hadn't applied anywhere. Maybe that was supposed to go around the face. I don't know. It really doesn't, like, tell me where these stickers go. I don't know. There is a hole there. So maybe, would it go on there? Let me look at this. Do I think this goes here? I don't know. I don't like the look of that, so. Not sure if that's where this was supposed to go, but I think I would have to take this apart to put that there. So we're not going to worry about it. It's fine. It doesn't really need it. It doesn't really need a black background. We do need to do some numbers on here, I guess, because we have 1, 2, and 3. And there is some instruction about where these go. That goes there. And then there's some numbers like there. I'm just going to put... Of course, none of these photos... Well, these photos do include the number. Okay, so the photos do include the number. So I could put this on there. But yeah, that episode of Handyman Saitou in Another World was good. I wouldn't describe it as great, but it was interesting. I think they're like getting into some weird shit, and I'm down for it. I do like that we're getting into some weird nonsense. All right, so just kind of put that like that. And we'll panel line this as well. We don't really need to panel line it because we got the stickers on, so we won't panel line it. All right, so then this goes in here. This. And then that clocks in underneath it. Yeah. So then if this does the same, then I want to have the 1 go here. All right, and then this locks in there. And that is our kit. Right there. This is the water version of the Hy-Gogg, and you can see it like under like that, but we'll just lay it on there. And that's the water version. The underwater version, I should say. And that is our kit. That's every element of this kit that we gotta put together here. I would not describe this as my favorite kit that I have done this year, but I'm happy to put it together because I think it looked neat. But yeah, I'll say this: I like building 20-year-old model kits. There's something very fun and satisfying about working on really old kits, especially kits that, like, who knows how much longer they would have just sat somewhere, right? It's kind of neat that I was able to buy this and build it and put it together and get it completed. I don't know. I think that's really cool. We are going to move on to, we're not going to get too far into it, but let's set up what we're going to be starting on Thursday's stream. A reminder that tomorrow I'm going to be playing Power Watch Simulator because on Tuesdays I play games or do something else. So I'm going to be checking out the Final Fantasy VII, the Midgar pack for Power Wash Simulator. So that's tomorrow's stream. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be checking that out. So please come and watch that. But right now we're going to get ready for what we're going to start on Thursday, which is the gun tank. It's a version of the gun tank. So we'll get that ready here. It is the gun tank early type. This is the origin version. This is from the year 2015. You can see right there. Sorry, it's right here. The RTX 65 gun tank early type. I have never built a gun tank on stream. It is a tank with the top of a Gundam, sort of. They are nonsense in a way that I really appreciate. I look forward to starting this kit. Just quickly checking. I got an email here. I just want to check that out. Hold on one second. My apologies. Okay. All right. Okay. The grayest model kit. Yes, Lashbrook. We went from light blue to gray. We are doing a lot of one tone. Obviously, we had orange at the end, but for the most part, this kit was all light blue, and then we are going to all gray. This is another kit where I will be almost exclusively using just using the black marker, and that's fine. But we'll start getting this assembled again. This is a 2013 kit, 2015 kit. I believe maybe some of the parts are 2013, but this is a kit that, like, I've been kind of keeping my eyes peeled for a very long time, and then when it appeared for sale, I jumped on it because I was like, you know what? I'd like to build this. This seems silly in a way that I can get behind. A lot of tank treads. This kit could take a little while to do because it does have some odd parts to it. It's got light gray and dark gray, the two colors. But then also it has some connector parts and one clear part for the face, which looks real good. Hold on one second. Sorry. Pop this up here. There we go. Just have to organize my my sprues. And there we go. There's E and E. And then the one part that popped out earlier. So let's put that there. You can find it. We do have some polycaps, of course. It's 2000. This is a 2015 kit. Of course, there's polycaps and some stickers here that we will probably use, but maybe we won't. Who knows? I believe these are water slides. I'm 99% sure these are water slides. So we might not do anything with them. Or we might apply them. I don't know. I haven't actually looked to see what these are here. Parts list. Yeah, that looks good. But you can see, yeah, this is 2015, so there is English in here. There's not like a ton of English in here. It's a good. The gimmicks they discuss are the fact that the guns there move, the cannons move, and the tank treads apparently move around a little bit. You can adjust them a little bit. So that's fun. We've got the cannons. The cannons get built there. Is that like the last step? I think the body, yeah. So we go through all of the body, the arms, and then the last step is putting together the cannons that go on there, and then putting the whole kit together. If that makes sense. But we'll probably put it together as we go. But yeah, this is going to be what we do for the next couple streams starting on Thursday. As I said, I wasn't 100% sure that I would be finishing up this kit tonight, this past kit, the Hy-Gogg, but we did finish that up. So this is now the next thing that I'll be building. And of course I can also, all the stuff I took out, I'm going to put back in here because it is easier for me to keep it in the box as we get going. And then this will be Thursday and Saturday and maybe some of Monday. I won't know until we start really digging into it, but oops, this is the next project. So get psyched for it. Gray model still looks better than the clear plastic RX-78. Yeah, I would say that. Gray, I mean, look, it's gray on gray. It's gonna look fucking good. This is gonna be a good looking kit. And with the black marker, it's gonna pop in a lot of different ways. And I think it's gonna look real neat. But that is something that we will start. Also, hi, I'm John. That is something that we will start, of course, on Thursday. And once again, reminder, Tuesday's stream, which you should definitely 100% come check out, is me checking out the Power Wash Simulator. It's a smaller pack than the, so we'll only do one stream of it than the Tomb Raider pack. This is the Midgar pack, is way smaller. So we'll go in and check that out. It'll be a lot easier to do that because I believe that it is just a couple vehicles, a mech, which was very fun to wash, and then, which I've done the vehicles and the mech, and then I haven't done, or the robot, I haven't finished the bar, but we'll go in there and we'll do all that. Again, similar to the Tomb Raider, I'm not the world's most confident person when it comes to Final Fantasy, so there are references in there I don't get, but there are references in the bar that I very much do get, and it is fucking cool that they are in that game, in Power Wash Simulator. And of course, these are free packs. We'll talk about that tomorrow. To finish off tonight's stream, we're going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream. We always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit out there. It's Monday, so unless she's not streaming, we are going to raid Mary Kish, because that's who we raid on Monday, because Monday is when she streams. And her community is great. As John says, we always end with a raid. Her community is great. She's great. So she's playing Dead Cells. That's fun. But I got to wait for an ad to load, make sure she's in there. Yeah, she's only going for 2 hours. So we're going to go join in on the fun with Mary Kish, because she rules. Her community is fantastic. She was so frustrated last week. It was kind of funny. But we're going to go give Mary a raid. So come along on this raid, please. I hope to see you tomorrow for Power Wash Simulator. On Thursday, as I start the gun tank early type. And another stream in the future, if that's not going to work for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for coming on this raid, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye.